In the previous weeks, the demand for accountability and transparency has intensified due to claims of corruption and deceit involving certain government officials. Various groups have expressed their anger, sadness, and frustration because instead of using public funds for the betterment of the lives of many, they have been pocketed, appropriated, and used for personal gain. Thus, the question and lament of many continues. Is there still hope for integrity in a society filled with deception? Is justice achievable in a landscape tainted by corruption? And as children of God, in what ways can we influence society to remain faithful despite the escalating absence of accountability and transparency? The readings for this Sunday show that corruption exists even in the scriptures. The first reading tells us that Prophet Amos cries out against the rich and the powerful of Israel during the reign of King Jeroboam II. He condemns them for their dishonest scales and measures to cheat customers, inflate prices, and accumulate wealth at the expense of the poor and needy. The Gospel reading also narrates the story of a manager who squanders his master's property and as a result is notified that he will be fired. Mindful of this, he fraudulently reduces the debts of his master's debtors, hoping they will reciprocate the favor and provide for him when he is unemployed. Though Jesus clearly praised his shrewdness, he was still called out for the lack of accountability and abuse of power. These stories, my dear friends, closely mirror the challenges we currently face in our society. They manifest now in the form of bribery, embezzlement, extortion, fraud, money laundering, and the misuse of power. They have become widespread and seem normalized due to their frequent occurrences, regardless of how they are frowned upon. So as Christians, what can we offer to prevent dishonesty and the lack of accountability? What should our dispositions be when, like the manager in the gospel, we are entrusted with power and resources? Firstly, we should recognize that we are God's stewards. Pope Francis in his Laudato Si highly emphasized that we are not God, but mere stewards of His creation. It is a reminder that we should not act and use our resources as we desire, but according to God's desires. Our disposition must not be of ownership, but stewardship. We do not use God's gifts for personal enjoyment and advancement, but to love Him more and our neighbors. Had the manager instilled in his mind that he was just a caretaker, surely he would not have mismanaged and abused his power. Secondly, we should pay attention to small matters. Jesus said in the Gospel, "Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much, and whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much." Most of the time, corruption and lack of accountability begin with the small things. This is because we underestimate small matters and think no one will notice and call us out. But in fact, paying attention to little things or being responsible for small matters is where accountability and transparency begin. If we are trustworthy and consistent, especially in small matters, then most probably we can also be trustworthy in handling larger responsibilities. And thirdly, we must prioritize God. Mammon is mentioned by Jesus in the last part of the Gospel. It is a Greek transliteration of the Jewish word that means that in which one trusts, which may refer to anything that one trusts more than God. So when Jesus said, "You cannot serve both God and Mammon," He was telling us to prioritize only one of the two, and that should be God. If we prioritize Him more than anything this world offers, we will act according to His will and use our gifts and talents only for His glory. My dear friends, in a world where lies and corruption become pervasive, let us persevere to be courageous voices and faithful witnesses of accountability, honesty, and fidelity. So when the right time comes for us to face and be judged by God, we will not be numbered among the dishonest managers, but among His faithful and good servants.